All right, still waiting on that press conference by Sheriff Jeff Dean in Thousand Oaks, California, on the shooter and the shooting that claimed a dozen lives, 13 if you include the shooter. Right now, California Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell joins us. Congressman, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, Neil.
We don't know a lot, sir. We do know a little bit that the .45 caliber handgun the shooter used was purchased legally, but that the magazine, the extended magazine that could hold more bullets, was not. Do you know anything more than that?
I don't, Neil. I do want to just say, as a Californian and someone who's got brothers who are working right now as police officers, that I grieve for the families and also that officer, who charged in there not knowing what hell would be coming his way and bravely saved others but lost his life. And that's just sad, and we're mourning in California for him and the 11 other victims right now.
Again, so much we don't know, sir, and including what might have motivated the shooter. There was an incident at his house some months back where police were trying to calm him down. Some have said that, maybe he had post-traumatic, stress, both his experience in Afghanistan and elsewhere. He was a decorated military hero. What do you know about that? Anything?
Same as you do, Neil. I'm very familiar with the firearm laws in California as a former prosecutor, and you're right. The magazine, the high-capacity magazine, is not allowed, but you're only as safe as the states around you and the laws that they have. And California borders Nevada and Arizona, and they have much looser gun restrictions. And so you can see how, with very porous borders, that they can come into the state and easily be used.
Let me switch gears again. We're waiting again to get some of these details, and I'm sure you're eager to get as well. But there are developments in Washington. The president apparently has been talking to potential permanent replacements for Jeff Sessions as Attorney General beyond just his acting head, Matthew Whitaker. Chris Christie was among those mentioned. Alex Azar, the the Health and Human Services Secretary, William Barr, a former AG under George H.W. Bush, Pam Bondi, even Rudy Giuliani. Any of those names pique your interest or concern?
Well, if it was Rudy Giuliani, I think there's an inherent conflict of interest. He's the president's lawyer. I would be very surprised if he would be confirmed. Even as loyal as the Senate is to the president, I think that's an obvious problem, Neil. But, I hope that as it relates to the Russia investigation, the lead investigator would be someone who would treat the president as he would treat John Doe suspect or John Doe witness, and just follow the evidence and not come in, as Mr. Whitaker has, with pre-drawn conclusions. I think the American people just want this to be an investigation like any other person and put the politics aside.
Do you have any concerns that the president would try to go after Bob Mueller or the probe at this late stage? I know you and others have been leading an effort to try to protect him, or separate legislation to protect him. Do you think that's necessary?
Yes, and it's actually bipartisan legislation. It came out of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I wish the Senate would pass it on the floor. We have legislation in the House that we will seek to move forward when we're in the majority, and hopefully momentum would build. But I think it's necessary because past his prologue, Neil, the president has already fired James Comey. He's now fired Attorney General Sessions. I think it's clear that he wants to...
But wouldn't the president, by definition, reject that or potentially veto that anyway, and that it would be a moot point?
Oh, well, it'd be overridden, I hope. I hope that...
Well, you need two-thirds to do it.
You need two-thirds, and we've overridden, presidents before. Sure. I was a part of overriding, Barack Obama on a vote. So people can override the president in their own party. But, Neil, it's really, the American people spoke on Tuesday, and I think they want a balance of power against abuses of power.
Real quickly, sir, there's a report in Politico and now elsewhere that you're seriously considering a run for president. Are you?
I saw there was a source there, Neil. I'm going to have to talk to my mom and tell her to stop talking to Politico. I'm considering it.
You have visited Iowa a number of times. New Hampshire, you're no stranger there. Are you looking at it?
Absolutely, I'm looking at it, and I'm going to talk with my family over the holiday. But I do think, Neil, that one lesson I've taken away from the midterm results, when you look at 25 people elected to help win the House and their 40s or under, is that the country is embracing new ideas, new energy, and new leadership.
Well, you're right in saying that they sometimes don't necessarily wait in line. That Republicans and Democrats sometimes say, if the moment is good, the moment is good. But what would it take for you to make that move? Because you'd have a lot of company. We're told at least 24 prominent Democrats, including yourself, who would be looking at that. Kamala Harris, your senator, as well, a host of other California types. It's going to be a crowded field.
That's right. There's no reservations. It's walk-ins only. But I think that what the American people are looking for is someone with experience. I've been in the House for 6 years. I was a prosecutor for 7 years before. Someone who knows the American people. I've grown up knowing want and seeing grit and how hard my parents worked to make me the first in the family to go to college. And someone who can defend our country when it's on the ropes. And I've been in the mix of this Russia investigation, and people know where I stand. So I'm looking forward to making the decision. It's not one that's easy, Neil, but we'll keep you updated.
All right, please do. Thank you, Congressman, very, very much.